It's sunflower harvest! Woo! Look at that black gold! Oh yeah! It is sunflower harvest. We're out here at my sunflower field. We've already cut about 15 acres, getting the combine set and whatnot. You have to set the combine a little different from other crops. You lower the fan speed and you change some other settings. But for the most part, it harvests like corn or milo or soybeans. It is a row crop, so we plant it in rows, and then we harvest it with the row head, the John Deere 854 row head. So that's different than a corn head. We are not using a corn head. It's a row head or an all crop head, same we use to pick up our down milo. There's actually quite a few sunflowers that have fallen down as well, and so that row crop head is working really nice. You can see there's just some ones that have fallen down. We had a pretty bad windstorm here in Kansas just a couple weeks ago that knocked quite a few of these over, but I think we're going to be able to get most of them off the ground. You always deal with a little bit of loss with sunflower harvest, just because they're so tall, kind of lanky, easily kind of can go over the back of the header, and so there's always a little bit of loss, just like there is with any crop, but I think we're able to get most of them. So this is what the sunflower head looks like when it's ready to harvest. Scrape the outside off here so you can see those are all sunflower seeds right there. That's a lot of sunflower seeds in one head, and you can see there's thousands and thousands of heads behind me. We're gonna cut about 48 acres of sunflowers. It's going well so far. All right, so this is the view from the combine cab. As you can see, I can lower the row head all the way down to the ground and get those snoots underneath the ones that have fallen down. And I don't necessarily get all of them, but if there's ever kind of a patch where quite a few of them have fallen down, then I lower down and kind of run this header on the ground. If we wouldn't have had the windstorm, I think I'd have maybe been able to run with the header up a little bit more, but see here I can raise my header up, and this is how you would normally harvest them, is with the header a little higher, but we got quite a few on the ground. One of the hardest things about growing sunflowers is those pesky things right there. Those birds eat the sunflower seeds, and they've probably been eating them for, I don't know, 2-3 weeks, probably longer, ever since they ripened. So I pretty much tried to come in here the first day I could to harvest these sunflowers. The moisture was right at 10. And so we're basically trying to get these off as soon as we can so the birds don't eat any more of them. There's a pond on this field, so the birds have water as well as all the sunflower seeds to eat. So not ideal. Birds like to eat milo as well, so we deal with some of that with both sunflowers and milo. Well, today's November 18th, and it's been about, I think, 3 weeks since I started filming this vlog. What ended up happening was some of these later planted sunflowers, I think, froze. And so when I got to them, the moisture test it skyrocketed. And so these were a long way away from drying down. I had to leave them sit here in the field for a long time. They're ready to go today, and so we're gonna harvest the rest of this field. And real quick, I wanted to kind of explain to you guys this row head here, this 853A row head. This is what we use to harvest the sunflowers. You can see these belts here. That's what carries the sunflower back to the auger. underneath here that cut each stalk before it goes, before the belt takes it back to the auger. And so once the sunflower head gets past right here, there's a pan under here that keeps the seeds from falling through. And so this is kind of the best header. This is the best header that we have to harvest sunflowers. You can buy actual sunflower heads that are maybe a little more efficient with loss. And that's what we used in the video last year. We had that sunflower head on demo. This row head, we upgraded. If you watched our sunflower video from 2 years ago, we had a 6-row head, and now we have an 8-row as well. We bought this to combine our downed milo this year. We were just afraid that the 7720 and a 6-row wouldn't be enough, and so we bought this one, and it goes a lot faster with 8 rows instead of 6, and it's been working really well, I think. And it's nice, in my opinion, to be running this 9600 combine versus the 7720. Just a little nicer. All right, we're gonna go dump. So here I am at Greenbush Seed and Supply in Hutchinson, Kansas. This is where I take the sunflowers, and I'm about to weigh in, and then I will unload in that bin over there. All right, so you saw in that last clip, I took the sunflower seeds to Greenbush Seed and Supply in Hutchinson, Kansas. They will be sold for birdseed after being processed there. And that's basically one of the uses for sunflowers. They can also be used for sunflower oil, or they can be grown for confectionery to eat. And so that's actually a different variety that's grown, but it's the same crop, kind of like there's different varieties of corn or different varieties of wheat, things like that. The price that we get paid for sunflowers in Hutchinson is $17 per hundredweight. And so we took in, I think it was around 1,000 pounds an acre this year, which was not a great yield. I've had higher than that for sure. But you know, it didn't rain from the time we planted them to the time we harvested them. So there's that. Yeah, that's what we get paid, and for a double crop that's drought tolerant, low risk, it's worth planting. Before I end the video, I wanted to go back to last year and read the comments and see if there are any questions that people had. And so I've got a list of questions here that I'm going to answer. People asked, what is the planting to harvest time frame? We planted these sunflowers in July and we harvested them in November. Is it a double crop or a full season crop? This year, these sunflowers were a double crop. They were planted after winter wheat. Sometimes we'll grow them as a full season, but it's really not worth it. They're not quite as profitable as corn and soybeans or milo. They work best as a double crop. Basically, you're lowering your risk because they're more drought tolerant. They yield very similar to like a double crop soybean, to where it's about a third of the dollars per acre that you would get from a full season crop. So these sunflowers, you know, they're not going to be super profitable, but since it's a double crop, it works out pretty well. Someone asked if we have any bees out on these sunflowers to help them pollinate. We do actually. For the last 2 years, there's been a guy from around here who has bees, and he brings those bees out, and they help pollinate sunflowers. I think it's helped the yield, and it's kind of cool to have bees flying around as well. Do we desiccate the sunflowers to dry them out with herbicide? No, those sunflowers dried naturally. Sunflowers are not a crop that you can spray really after you plant them. The best thing you can do is to lay down a good pre-emergence herbicide to kill the weeds and stuff. You can kill grass in the growing sunflowers, but as far as weeds go, there's not much you can do. That's one of the biggest hurdles when it comes to growing sunflowers. Some of the benefits of sunflowers also include their roots that go way down into the soil and help loosen things up. Good for soil health. It's a great rotational crop. We like to rotate between 5 or 6 different crops. We think it really helps the soil health and our no-till system, and so that's another reason we like growing sunflowers. What do we do with the residue that is left behind after harvest? We don't do anything similar to milo, similar to corn. Sometimes we'll graze milo or corn stalks, but with sunflowers or soybeans, whatever's left, we plant right into that next year without tilling. It's, you know, the more residue, the better in our no-till system. We like residue. It turns into organic matter. It keeps cover on the soil. That's something that we like to do. One other thing a lot of people were commenting on was, do we do any prevention for fire? Because sunflowers are known to cause fires on combines. Yeah, we drag a chain. We've done that ever since we first started growing sunflowers. Drag a chain on the ground helps prevent fires. All right, well, hope you guys enjoyed this video about sunflowers. Please remember to click subscribe if you've enjoyed this and you want to see more. Please leave me a comment if you have any other questions. And check out our website, petersonfarmbrothers.com. We sell merch there, t-shirts, posters that we autograph. You can come tour our farm, booking that off the website. Lots of really cool things happening there, so please check that out. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. See you next time.